Good evening, everybody, for all the way from South Africa. It is a wonderful evening this side. As you can see, the lighting's a bit different for this video. Thank you so much for stopping by on my channel again. And this time around, I'm not doing a speed build, but I'm actually going to try to explore doing this Rags to Riches challenge. I've never personally tried it before. This is the first time I've tried it whilst filming it for you guys to have a look and to watch what went on. Personally, when I play The Sims 3, I like to make sure that my Sims are loaded before I actually play anything with regards to the game. Of course, I have done a version of the game where my sim starts absolutely from scratch, but never in this kind of extreme case where you're not even allowed to have a house, you can't even get a job. Your sim literally has to scramble and do what they can in order to try get simoleons to try live. So this was my attempt at it. I hope you guys enjoy. As always, leave me with your comments. I'd love to know what you thought about this challenge as well, but let's get straight into it. Okay, so first things first, I'm actually basing this version of the game in the Starlight Shores neighborhood, which is a neighborhood that comes with the Sims 3 Showtime expansion pack. I'm sure most of you already have that. One of the reasons why I picked the Starlight Shores neighborhood is because I just find the neighborhood to be vibey. I find it to have a lot of the elements that I'm going to need in order to succeed in this challenge. So going into this, we're going to create a sim, a nice little gentleman. We're going to call him Darren, and he's just essentially going to be the main character, or victim, should I say, of everything that's about to happen to him in this game. Okay, so here we go. We're actually going to go in with the random sim over here. You'll see I just had to amend a few of the settings there because I don't want any copyright strikes on my video for playing any of the Sims music. And literally the sim just came out of a gallery. I think he was one of the default Sims on the platform. I just went ahead, changed the hairstyle a little bit. I didn't pay too much attention to creating a sim in this game. Obviously, for the purposes of this game, it's just a Rags to Riches challenge. So, you know, for the purposes of what I'm trying to do, I just thought of maybe giving him the basic traits that could maybe help him succeed. And one of those that I thought of was definitely making him an angler, because in my mind, I thought, okay, maybe he can be somebody that's always just catching fish. If he's a good angler, he can catch the fish, sell it at the supermarket, and then get money from there. But anyways, here is our sim now, finished, finalized, and ready to go. You'll see that there's 0 in the simoleon sector. This guy has absolutely nothing. So let the games begin. The first thing that I thought of was, let me sell the bin and let me sell the mailbox. Now, this is a horrible idea because obviously you can see there, the bin had absolutely 0 value. So it was worth nothing. You can sell it, but you get nothing in return. And so was the mailbox. So then, you know, obviously that plan failed. And then I had to think of something else real quickly. When I checked out his inventory, I saw that he had a camera in there. And I was like, great, we can sell this camera and get a decent amount of cash and use it to purchase something for him. And we also have his high school diploma, but I had no use for that because it's not worth anything. I mean, if you sold your own high school diploma, who would buy it? Just saying. So we sold the camera. There we go. We got something decent there going on. And then it was with this that I decided, you know what? I'm actually just going to build him some sort of shelter. It's not going to be the best shelter, obviously, because we don't have much of simoleons to actually play around with here. We don't have room for that kind of, you know, building something decent for him. But I just said, you know what, since we started him off in the rain, especially, as you can see, it was raining this time that he actually moved into this town. I just felt that, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just build him something decent, something that is just at least a little bit of shelter, just to keep him, you know, out of the sun and keep him out of the rain as well when it does rain on him. And to be honest, I've never done anything like this before. As I was doing this, I was just shaking my head the whole time, like, no ways. No ways. I've never subjected any sim of mine to these sort of living conditions. But anyway, a challenge is a challenge, and we have to honor the rules of the challenge with that regard. So I made a little shelter, and as you can see, it was kind of a bit of a stressful environment to do this because you don't have much simoleons. So I realized I couldn't afford a door, so I had to just delete a segment of the wall to make some sort of an entrance point for this poor sim, because we can't afford a door. And unfortunately, in terms of flooring, I added a ceiling so that we can just have like a roof. I think you can just have a roof without a ceiling in any case, but for him I just decided to be kind. I added a bit of a ceiling made out of wood there, just something to keep him sheltered. You know, I had to go for the cheapest bed that I could find because all the other beds were reddened out, that I could not afford anything else for him. But just for him to have some sort of night's comfort of sleep, I went ahead and I bought this 105 simoleon bed. I mean, that must have broken his back overnight. I don't know. But in any case, this is what I managed to do for him. And this is his dwelling for basically a couple of days until we could find more money. To some fishing. So what I did is I looked around for a nice fishing spot, and then I sent him to work, essentially, to go be catching some fishes in the neighborhood. And yeah, so he arrived there, he started casting out his net, obviously trying to see what we can catch out of the pond. It wasn't great, but in any case, we did what we did. And you'll see I'm going to start speeding this up a little bit, but essentially what had to happen was he fished for a while, and then, I mean, the fishes that he managed to catch were just, you could not do much with them at all. And when I tell you that you could not do much with them at all, I mean it for real, because the kind of fish that he was catching, you guys, it wasn't 40 simoleon kind of fishes, 150 simoleon salmons over there, and lobsters, you know, all of those advanced fishes that you get in The Sims 3. No. At his level of anglership, he was not catching things like that at all. I wanted to cry. I really wanted to cry because it shocked me what he was catching. And I'm like, but what are we going to do with this? What? And I'm so glad that he is an angler and he's enjoying what he's doing. But at the same time, I mean, look at this. He caught that fish for what? 5 simoleons. A whole 5 simoleons is what he's catching. Oh my goodness. I wanted to scream because in my mind now I'm saying to myself, I'm like, how long is it going to take us to catch a decent amount of fish in simoleons to actually make something for this guy? And yeah, this just kept going on and on and on and on and on and on. This catching 5 simoleon fish, I really, like, literally, I just sped through this part of the video because I'm just like, there's no point talking about this, but unfortunately it is what it is. And I just had another idea that, you know what, he can actually also harvest some fruits and some vegetables from some of the public fruit and vegetable trees that are around The Sims. You know, sometimes I'm jealous of these people. I wish I had a grape vine just right outside my house. How cool would that be? But nonetheless, so we found such, and I got him to work in terms of harvesting because I said to myself, I said, right, he can take this stuff and go sell it at the supermarket, and that could also make a little bit of extra cash. Obviously, the quality won't be as great as when you use the fertilizer and the optimum fertilizer and whatever the case may be. This is like public outside plants. It wasn't put there by any specific person who actually tends to it. But I said to myself, let's give that a try as well. And then a major idea hit me. I'll tell you all about it. So I remembered in The Sims 3 that there are these wonderful things around town called the dumpster. And I remembered seeing a couple of Sims before, not my Sims, the townie Sims. My Sims don't do such, but I remember seeing townie Sims dumpster diving. And I said to myself, I said, okay, this is a great idea. If I could get him to go be dumpster diving, maybe he'll find something in the dumpsters that's, you know, worth a good amount of cash that we could also use to kind of, you know, I'm trying to help this guy. And unfortunately, the methods that are being implemented right now are not working as efficiently as I want them to. So it's time for the dumpster diving. I sent him off to go into the dumpster diving arena and to try and find something that's really worthwhile that could maybe help his case out a little bit. Because I mean, guys, I really wanted to get him a shower. I really wanted to get him a stove. I wanted to get him you know, a little bit of a decent lifestyle. So just to make this challenge a little bit bearable for now, because I can tell this is really uncomfortable for him. It would be uncomfortable for anybody. So shame, poor Sim. I really wanted to get him to a point where we could actually just give him something that's a bit decent whilst we're still struggling. So here comes the dumpster diving mission, and I was so excited to see what he's going to pull up from this. So I was quite happy to see that the dumpster diving actually worked a little bit in our favor here, because he managed to pull up a table. That's one of the first things that he got, and I was excited. It was a table, like, you know, one of those desk tables in The Sims, but I was excited because that's something of a little bit of a higher value. The rest of the items kind of annoyed me because he dug up like a firefly, and I'm like, who puts fireflies in a dumpster? Or is that what they do? I thought fireflies are found more in nature, not in the dumpster. But in any case, I was really, really happy. I was actually kind of impressed with what he managed to get, because apart from the desk, I think he found a clock as well. I think he found some other things. It was quite a handful of things that he managed to dig out of that dumpster. And shame, although he's feeling very sick at this point in time, I had to keep him going. I had to see what else we could get. I could see that it was getting late in the day. I just wanted to get him home. I wanted to make sure that the items he's dug up, we can get a shower at least, get him a hot shower, you know, get him home, get him an oven or something along those lines. So I really pushed him for this. Well, after the whole dumpster diving thing, well, I went straight to his home lot because I was just so ready to sell things. So there we go, selling the table there for 140 simoleons. Not bad, but I wish it was worth more, to be honest. But it's a good enough contribution to this guy's predicament. Thereafter that, you know, if you can see there in the inventory, I mean, we've got 2 fireflies. Like, oh my word, for 15 simoleons for one of the fireflies. The other one is worth 7 simoleons, not much. We've got a wonderful clock for 40 simoleons going there, a wonderful stereo system for 150 simoleons, which I was chuffed about, and a wonderful little lamp for 45 simoleons. And all in all, we had 470 simoleons at the end of the day. So then what we decided to do next, I just said, you know what, he needs to go to the supermarket first and foremost. He needs to go sell all those vegetables and fruits that he harvested. And he also needs to go sell his catchings from the fishing events that he was indulging in. So I instructed him to go and do that. Let's see how much we can get from that. But then before then I decided, you know what, let's just renovate his little dwelling a little bit. He definitely needed a shower. So I went into the showers, and the cheapest one I could afford was that one, which most of my Sims would complain about, to say that it doesn't even produce hot water. It produces ice cold water. But it is what it is. 425 simoleons of a shower. That is our cheapest shower. I wanted to get him a stove so desperately as well. But unfortunately, looking at how many simoleons we have, and when we eventually did go through and look at the stove pricings over there, we couldn't afford not even the cheapest stove, which was sad because I really wanted him to have a warm meal before he went to bed. He's been through so much already. Nonetheless, I said, okay, fine. Let's see, you know, from the produce that he's going to be selling and the fishes that he's going to be selling to the supermarket, how much we could actually derive from that. And thereafter, actually, I had the idea. I said, whilst he's at the supermarket, he can just go do dumpster diving again, just one last time, just to see what we can get, just, you know, make the evening complete. So, you know, there we go. We had a wonderful 2 dumpsters there at the supermarket, and I just wanted him to go ahead and dumpster dive in there. One of the things I thought about having him do as well, if you have the In the Future expansion pack, your Sims could actually buy a lottery ticket. And I said to myself, shame man, that might be quite cool for him. You know, there's no rules in the Rags to Riches rule book that says that your Sim can't play lotto. It just primarily speaks about the fact that he can't, you know, get a job, you can't really use any cheats, you can't you know, you can't have anything on your lot to begin with. Everything needs to be removed. You need to start from scratch completely. So I decided I'm actually going to have this guy purchase a lotto ticket, and I'm going to hope for the best that he wins the lottery and gets something for himself. You see, in this round of dumpster diving, he just pulled out a box of tissues. I'm like, what are we gonna do with the box of tissues? Well, it's fitting for our situation because I'm sure he's gonna cry himself to sleep after this. Box of tissues will really come in handy. But nonetheless, I think we found other things in here, like a firefly again, which I don't understand why fireflies are so popular when it comes to Sims 3 dumpsters. Like, honestly, I mean, a firefly should be fireflying elsewhere in nature, out in the light or in the dark, where it can be seen or unseen. I don't know. But nonetheless, see, there we go, another firefly. I'm like, what on earth are we, why does this keep happening? We don't need fireflies. We need a bicycle or something, you know, to help this poor guy. So, yeah, basically, and he also found a geode, which I thought would fetch money, but unfortunately, that wasn't the case. The other thing I considered when it came to my sim is the time-traveling machine that Emmett Relevart left behind, and I sold it for a beautiful 725 simoleons, and I was so happy. And we also sold that little university starter pack that the university mascot likes to leave behind to enable people to sort of join the university spirit of the Sims 3 University. All in all, I was just so glad with the, you know, the money that I managed to fetch from those two items, and I subsequently managed to buy my sim a wonderful stove. The cheapest stove that was in the book, of course, on the market, and I just decided to extend the shelter over there just to give it a little bit more protection from the weather, as it doesn't need that in Sims World, but you know how it is. So I'm so glad that he's taking a hot shower. But when it came to preparing food, what I realized is I forgot to add in a counter for him to do that. So back into the buy mode, we go look at the most cheapest counter that we can use, so to help him to prepare his meals over there. Wonderful 140 simoleons. And essentially, when it came to the actual preparation of food, unfortunately, we couldn't prepare food. Reason being is mac and cheese requires cheese. I have a mod in my game where you're supposed to, every time that you're supposed to cook something, you need to actually give an input as to which ingredients you need to use to make that particular food set. And if you don't have it, you need to go to the supermarket and go get it. It's not like the basic Sims 3 where you can just make things regardless of whether you have them in your fridge or not, you know. But in this case, we didn't even have a fridge. So he had to go ship himself to the supermarket to get the ingredient to make mac and cheese, essentially, which is just cheese. And with that, I also sent him to go do the whole lottery ticket thing, because I just hope that he wins. Unfortunately, through all that dumpster diving, yeah, I'm so sorry, Darren. He vomited. But you know what's funny about The Sims? When someone is feeling sick and they vomit, they don't just linger around and be like, oh, you know, I feel so sick. No, life carries on, you know, I'm okay. Let me go to the supermarket and go get me the cheese that I needed. Just like, all of a sudden, the problem is resolved. So, here we are, you know, and looking at everything else on the list, it's so tempting. You know, lettuce, the eggs, the apples. Actually, I had to compare. I had to be cost efficient with this, because it's either he could make pancakes or the mac and cheese. And I weighed up which one was cheaper, and obviously the cheese came in at 8 simoleons. And we purchased a wonderful block of cheese for him to be able to do his macaroni and cheese. And with that, I also made him go and purchase that wonderful lottery ticket that cost 10 simoleons. So fingers crossed, when the lotto results come out, I just hope that he wins this thing. I honestly hope. It will help him a great deal. But yeah, so there we go. And we're going to go back to his house now, and we're going to go prepare the mac and cheese. I love that he doesn't live so far from the supermarket. He can just literally run from there and come to his home or his shelter. And we can now prepare the mac and cheese. I normally prepare food in The Sims 3, or I make my Sims prepare it as a serving. That way they can just keep, you know, the leftovers back in the fridge, and then obviously take a serving each day, provided that the food still remains fresh. But in this case, we don't have a fridge, and we can't afford one either. We only have, what, 303 simoleons, so not enough. So here he is. He got to work preparing the mac and cheese, and you know what? My one prayer was that he doesn't burn the mac and cheese. Please don't burn it, because we have to go back to the supermarket and buy another cheese in the event that he burns the food. And we can't prepare things like an autumn salad, or, you know, something that doesn't require cooking, because obviously we don't have a fridge in that regard. If no fridge, no lettuce, no tomatoes, nothing to keep those things fresh. So my word. And he's shame. He's very tired now. He's exhausted. Hopefully he doesn't mess this up, and he cooks himself a good meal that he can have, you know. Oh no. Oh no. Well, unfortunately he burnt it, and we can't cook anything else because we don't have the ingredients. So he's gonna have to go back to the supermarket. As tired as he is and as hungry as he is, I tried looking around to see maybe if we can skip that, if we can maybe just harvest a grapevine or something and have something to eat on the go instead of having to prepare a food, you know, like a meal again. But unfortunately not. And the reason why I looked around for that is because obviously his cooking skill is very low. He doesn't have much of a cooking skill, so he is likely to burn food that he cooks, and I wanted to see if we can prevent that as much as possible. Maybe just have him eat a grape or an apple or 3 apples, and that would fill him up. But unfortunately, being this time of the night, it is so dark, I can't even see which tree is which. So I'm just like, no, you're gonna have to go back to the supermarket, my guy, and get yourself something wonderful to eat. I tried selling the geode, like I spoke about earlier, only 60 simoleons, and I sold a couple of other things, including the box. You know, I thought about keeping the box of tissues. I'm like, he might need them for his ordeal. But then I said, nah, you know what, it was nice, but then I said, no, let's just get it over and done with. He needs the money. He needs the money. At 422 simoleons, we're doing okay. I must say we are doing okay. And this time around, I decided let's add 4 cheeses so that if he burns the other meal, at least we've got some cheeses left that he can try again, and sort of just keep trying, you know, instead of having to run again to the supermarket again and again. Okay, and what I like is that the quality of these cheeses are nice. They are very nice. So yeah, you can tell that he's not in a good mood. His diamond is red. He is depressed. He's hungry. He is tired. He's just not having this anymore. Let's just get him a meal. I just said to myself, let's just get him a meal so he can just go to sleep. And we'll see his journey another day. We'll carry on another time. Obviously, with these rags to riches kind of challenges, you know, you can't do the whole thing in one day. It's definitely going to be split apart multiple videos when it comes to him especially. So for the purposes of today, we'll see how far we get, and then after that, I'm just going to keep dividing it as I go along. You know, whenever I play this particular sim again, I will know that it is the rags to riches, not to do anything and just let it be. I hope he doesn't burn this. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yay, he didn't burn his food. Now he can have a plate of mac and cheese for dinner and sleep on a full stomach. Okay, so there we go. He's eating his food. He seems to be happy. He's getting his nutrition. He's getting something warm in his stomach because he's had a real bad day. And I'm just happy for him. And obviously there's nothing left apart from then just going to sleep and saying good night. You know what, to be honest, with the quality of the bed that he has, I don't expect him to be up at 8 o'clock the next morning. I expect him to literally be up probably at like, I don't know, 2 p.m. or something like that. So yeah, I guess, you know, just letting him sleep it off and just seeing, you know, what's gonna happen, and what our plans are for the next day. Most likely it's going to be dumpster diving, but then again, let's see what else we can do. So as he is snoring, definitely the plans are dumpster diving, nothing else. Oh no, what is that sound? What is that sound? No, you gotta be kidding me. No, you have to be kidding me. A whole burglar is coming to rob this poor man. He already has nothing. And he stole his shower. Of all things, he decides to go for the shower. Why not take the counter, burglar guy? Why the shower? You know what I hate the most? This guy already has nothing, and now here comes a burglar who steals his shower. And he can't afford to get the anti-theft alarm, so unfortunately it is what it is. The poor guy, his shower is stolen, and now we need to buy another shower. Yeah, looking at the simoleons over there, I don't think we have enough for another shower. Only 390 simoleons. He's gonna have to do something, or we're gonna have to sell something extra in order to make up the money to buy another shower, essentially. Yeah, hey, times are tough out here, guys. Times are tough out here. You buy a shower, now your shower gets stolen. You know what's funny about Sims as well? Like, the burglar comes through, he has no bag, no nothing. When he steals your things and he puts them in this tiny little bag, or not even a backpack, he just goes away. It's like, where's that shower that you stole, my guy? Like, where is it? Like, honestly, a shame. This is the most unfortunate thing to happen to this poor guy. His shower gets stolen. He already has nothing, but we'll make a plan to get him a new one. We will. Another day. Okay, so I mean, surely there's got to be another way to get this guy to riches without having him dumpster dive all the way through to it. I mean, does this challenge get easier, or is it really like this where it remains the same? Oh gosh. Okay, so now he's woken up. We're gonna go dumpster diving again. I'm sending him back to the supermarket to go do this. There's 2 dumpsters over there, and it's also closer to his house, so I felt that let's just send him to those dumpsters. And getting him there and doing what he does best, essentially. Dumpster diving, half your body in, half your body out, getting in there, finding them resources, things to sell. The end table was found, which I was chuffed about. Not much, but at least, you know, it contributes something over there. Then we found a soccer ball, which unfortunately it's one of those things that you find that you just can't do much about. And we just carry on, really. But like I said, there must be some other way that he doesn't have to do this for the rest of his rags to riches days. There must be something that we can actually add in the mix, just to help this guy out a little bit better. Because shame, man, dumpster diving, you can imagine you're gonna have people that are gonna heckle you, you're gonna have people that are gonna walk past and shout out their insults or whatever it is that they want to shout out. Yeah, a perfume item was found and a wonderful lounger. So immediately I went back home, I sold all of those items that we found, and then it gave us 1,335 simoleons, which I was chuffed about because that's the most that we've ever gotten. And shame, he's busy getting heckled. He found another lounger, which is great money as well, and I just can't wait to see how much our total is after his whole dumpster diving activity. Hopefully it is a decent amount that will actually make me happy as well. This is actually quite a challenge, I must say. In the beginning it was quite like I didn't know what to do, but this dumpster diving thing was a great idea. A gaming system, I'm so excited. That's gonna fetch like 750. Yes, it did. A gaming system, wonderful. Now we've got 2,280 simoleons. With this I decided I'm going to expand his shelter a little bit, make it into a little bit of, you know, a dwelling space instead of just, you know, a place to have something over his head. I gave him a door because now we can finally afford a door, and I managed to get him back his shower that was stolen. with regards to the cooking and everything, you know, I think I did, yes, I did actually give him a little cooking smoke alarm to make sure, because of his level of cooking, he doesn't know how to cook yet, so we need that smoke alarm. And I could afford some lighting for his little dwelling as well. Everything's not so perfect, but at least this, to me, gives me a little bit of comfort that he's living at least a little bit happily. Shame, he's been through it. I've never had to put a sim through a situation like this, but I'm glad that you know, this is what we were able to do for him. You know, and yeah, essentially I decided to actually include flooring as well, and just give his house a little bit of paint, you know, a little bit of decor in the inside. I'm going to obviously use a bit of a white wall on the outside. We don't have a toilet for now. Yes, I'm sure that's what's on everyone's mind. Where's this guy's toilet at? We don't have no toilet for now. The toilet, he can definitely go use public toilets in the park or whatever until we can afford the porcelain throne, which is the best toilet ever in The Sims 3. And yeah, now coming home after dumpster diving, just being able to take that hot shower again. I hope that the shower actually works for him, because a lot of my Sims complain about the cheaper showers. They're like, no, the quality of showering with that thing is not good enough. They need something fancy that really spits fire out when they shower. But I'm glad that for him it's all okay, and I see that he wants to learn the writing skill as well, which I feel that is actually quite advantageous. He is a bookworm. I think that is one of his traits. For him to become a writer and to learn the writing skill will work very excellently, because he can develop a writing skill and then obviously start writing novels and selling these you know, to the general public, and actually getting good money on that. So that's definitely something that I'm going to develop for this guy indeed. But all in all, I think this has been a wonderful day. There he is, just preparing his macaroni, which he burnt again. Anyways, we'll carry on the next time.